off. Hello everybody and welcome back to Wine Bob. Today we're going to be covering the difference between Old World and New World wines. We're going to be doing that by using the two wines we'll be tasting later this week, and that's the Jean-Jacques Archer Sancerre and then the Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough, New Zealand. The reason why I chose these wines is I think it really illustrates the stark stylistic difference between these two regions. They use the exact same grapes, but again, they can really shine in completely different ways based on where they're grown, what those climates are like, and then the influences from the winemakers themselves. The other reason why I chose these two wines is that it really will offer us an opportunity to go over, elaborate, and dissect what European wine laws can do to a wine label and how they will reflect in the label itself. But first, what is the Old World? The Old World is pretty much all of Europe. Viticulture has been a part of their history for thousands of years, and as a result, different regions are restricted to specific varietals and styles as regulated by the respective governments. These wines tend to be lighter in style and highlighted by their earthiness, minerality, herbaceousness, and floral components. They are labeled by their region in most cases instead of their varietal, with only a few exceptions. In contrast, New World wines have only been practicing viticulture for a couple hundred years, are not as stringently regulated, especially as it pertains to varietals and styles, can be fuller bodied with profiles highlighting fruitiness and ripeness, and are typically labeled by their grape varietals. To illustrate this point, let's take a look at our two wines for the week. First, let's visit the Old World. Our Sancerre is made by Jean-Jacques Archer, and some Google Food tells me that the domain is located outside of the village Sancerre in a commune called Buet. By law, Sancerre is allowed to come in three styles: Blanc, Rosé, and Rouge. The Blancs must be made from 100% Sauvignon Blanc, and similarly, the Rosé and Rouge styles must be made from 100% Pinot Noir. Something to note here is that the grapes for this specific wine were not acquired of the domain but purchased in Sancerre from another grower and processed in a facility in Azé, which is an area outside of Burgundy. This is not terribly unusual in practice, especially because the Burgundy region is fairly well known for négociants, which are producers who produce wines from grapes they did not grow. If these were from the domain in Buet, you would see the name of the domain on the label instead of the name of the individual. In addition, you would see the production area as Buet instead of Azé as seen on this label here at the very bottom. Wines from France may be released as either Vin de France, which has the lowest level of regulation, Vin de Paille, VDP, or Indication Géographique Protégée, IGP, which are wines from a more specific geographical subregion in France that may not adhere to the local regulations. And then there are Appellation Contrôlée, or AOC, which is wines of a specified subregion in France that is held to the strictest regulation. This Sancerre is an AOC, which you can see here in the middle of the label. Next, we will take a look at Kim Crawford. As you can clearly see, there is also a geographical indication Marlborough. However, what is different here is that the grape variety is clearly stated as well. What is not clear here is that according to New Zealand law, these wines must adhere to the 85-85-85 rule, in that at least 85% of the grapes must be from the stated region, vintage, and grape variety. There is a similar regulation on Old World wines, however, they can change from area to area. And if that seems like a lot, trust me, you're not alone. When you start your education, whether it's through the Court of Master Sommeliers, whether it's through the WSET, or even just casual online, you're going to be thrown all of this information. It's only through these repetitive exercises of either going to the store or looking at these wine labels will it really start to make sense what regions are associated with which grape varietals. So we're going to go over them in the future. Anytime I introduce a wine that doesn't have the varietal on it, we'll do this same exercise over and over again to say, Rhone Valley has Syrah or Grenache, or Sancerre Sauvignon Blanc, or Burgundy's Pinot Noir, and we'll do it for every single wine so that over time you will associate different regions with different grape varietals. the ultimate goal of this is that in the future, when you go into a wine store, you can approach the shelves with some degree of confidence that the wine you're looking for comes from a specific region. Ultimately, that's what we're going for, is that everyone can connect with a certain degree of confidence. If there was anything that I went over that you need clarification on, or I didn't elaborate super well on, by all means reach out to me in the comments, or you can shoot me an email, and I'd be more than happy to reach out to you and clarify things to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe, and I look forward to our tasting later this week. Cheers.